Hey, young girl. We are back with a new episode this week. I want to start by saying thank you to who all have been watching, listening, sharing, commenting on the platforms. The podcast is streaming on Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, or just search wherever you listen to your podcast. And again, thank you. Today, I want to talk about spring cleaning. So, as the season changes, we're going into the spring season, and things start to reproduce, bloom. The weather starts to be much clearer, brighter, warmer weather. And a lot of times we tend to do spring cleaning at home. It's a perfect time to declutter, open up the doors, let the air in, clean things a little bit more thoroughly than you might normally do. Cleaning the baseboards, the ceiling fans, doing a very thorough clean, decluttering, get rid of a lot of the things, that we've hoarded throughout the year. Most times, us ladies, we can get in the habit of doing a lot of shopping. So you'll have all of these clothes and shoes and bags that we're not even wearing or using or we can't even fit. So it's a great time to just declutter, clean it out, and get refreshed. Are starting to see what is working for you as far as, going into this new season, how we set our goals. And you can kind of decipher what is working for you and what's not, and start to kind of clear some of that stuff off of your to do list. Stay on top of what you're doing. And as far as your home, a lot of the stuff that's not fitting, that's not working, you just have stuff all over. Let's get organized, and you'll start to be more organized in your mind as well. You won't be in a rush to rush off somewhere. You won't be behind, you get organized. Even in your wardrobe, kind of create a uniform for yourself. That way you can just grab and go. Starting out your morning slow, getting up a little bit earlier than the others in the home, right? And you have that little bit of quiet time for yourself. It's most times peaceful. You can kind of reflect on, the day before, and you can go in not feeling rushed, get there on time, things like that. Most times you go through things and a lot of it is in you can't control it. So try to focus on what you can control. And a lot of times that is yourself, your environment. So, having a clean and, organized home can make you feel peaceful and organized in your life as well. Constantly renewing and refreshing, can let you see, in other words, what it is that you have and, what you've already worked for and accomplished. Because a lot of times you don't even sit and slow down enough to enjoy what it is that you have worked hard for, sitting still on that couch that you paid for and watching that TV, or reading a book comfortably on that sofa in your, warm or cool home that you're paying the utilities for, because you're always on the go and go and going, working for the money, and you're forgetting that you have accumulated a lot of things that you have actually prayed for and worked for, right? Because you're always on the go and looking for the new thing. And in reality, you can maybe just refresh some of those things that you already have, a fresh paint job in a room, a new comforter, all of those things refresh. Ladies, we love flowers. Why wait on someone to gift them to you? Go and get you a dozen of roses or whatever your preference is and sit them there on the side of your bedside table or on your coffee table. So when you walk in the home, you're looking at this beauty. And like they say, stop and smell those roses, you know? And it's just like constantly renewing and refreshing, re energizing yourself will keep you motivated, give you that downtime to, reflect and get you back focused. Because things will come. It's inevitable. You're not going to be free from problems. It's like that song, Can You Stand the Rain? Sunny days, they're just so beautiful. Everybody loves them. But tell me, can you stand the rain? So spring comes and the rain comes, with spring as well. Sometimes to wash things clean, and that's just like tears. Sometimes tears aren't a sign of weakness. Strong people cry as well. And after they cry, you feel this release. Sometimes you just need a good cry, to get it out. Some things just, you know, on you that's heavy and things like that. Don't look at yourself as weak if you drop a tear. You're still strong. You may have had a weak moment. You hurt. You're just like a human. We all hurt, and sometimes you can project that hurt off as pain, but you can also looking at it as a release. And when you release it, you feel refreshed. That's just like a nice hot bath. I know we love the quick showers, but sometimes that nice long soothing bath with some Epsom salt to soak those muscles, or a nice oil fragrant that you love, like lavender. And you get out of that bath, you feel renewed and refreshed. So let's get in with this spring cleaning, y'all. Clean it up, renew, refresh, and let's just keep going. Sometimes you have these periods where you need to rest, and you go into this isolation, and then you get renewed and you come back out re-energized. All right. So get with y'all spring cleaning. All right. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.